Welcome to the breakdown of the biggest story hitting our screens today. You won't believe the drama that has been unfolding with the family of the former governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai. If you've been scrolling through your feed, you've probably seen the headline that his son has officially confirmed his father's release from detention. This isn't just a regular news update. It is an emotional roller coaster involving law, politics, and a very sudden family tragedy. For those who haven't been following the case closely, Malam Nasir El-Rufai was recently taken into custody by the ICPC. The situation was quite serious, involving an investigation into financial matters from his time in office. He was even scheduled for a major court appearance this past Tuesday. But life has a way of throwing a curveball when you least expect it. While he was behind bars, heartbreaking news arrived. His mother, the family matriarch, Hajiya Umma El-Rufai, passed away in Cairo, Egypt. This is where the story takes a very human turn. It doesn't matter who you are, losing a mother is a heavy blow. Because of this, the legal process had to step aside for a moment of compassion. The authorities granted the former governor a temporary release so he could receive his mother's body at the airport and lead his family through the burial rites. It's a moment that reminds us that behind every political headline, there are real people with real feelings. Before we get into what his son, Bashir, actually said about all this, because his words were quite bold, please take a quick second to hit that like button. If you want to stay updated on all the trending stories in Nigeria, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on those notifications. Your support helps us keep bringing you the sweetest gist. Now let's talk about the son's reaction. Bashir El-Rufai did not hold back. He went straight to social media to announce that his father was coming home. He called his father a legend and described the detention as unlawful. You can imagine the relief in their household, but you can also feel the tension. Even though the release is for a funeral, the family is clearly standing tall and showing a very united front to the public. They are telling the world that they are overcomers. This situation has everyone talking because it raises a big question about our justice system. Many people are asking, is it fair to release someone from detention because of a family death? Most people agree that it is the right and humane thing to do, as our culture values the respect we show to our elders and parents even in death. Even President Tinubu sent a message of sympathy to the family, showing that in times of grief, we can all find common ground. However, the gist doesn't end here. This release is only temporary. The court has a big date set for March 31st to decide if he will get official bail or if he has to go back. So while the family is together now to say goodbye to their grandmother, there's a giant clock ticking in the background. It's a bittersweet moment for them, reunited under the roof, but under the shadow of a very big legal battle. It's really fascinating to see how a high-profile case can change in just 24 hours. 1 minute it's all about court papers and lawyers, and the next it's about family and tradition. It makes you wonder how the mood will shift once the funeral is over and the court case resumes. Will the legend status the son talked about help them through the next phase, or is the law going to take a firmer stand? I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. Do you think the authorities did the right thing by letting him out for the funeral, or do you think the law should stay the same for everyone no matter what happens at home? This is a huge conversation and your opinion matters. Also, if you haven't already, please subscribe and join our community so you never miss a beat on these stories.
Now, to give you the deeper part of this gist, we have to look at what exactly led to this moment. You see, the former governor wasn't just picked up on a whim. The ICPC has actually filed some very heavy charges against him. We are talking about a 10-count charge that includes allegations of money laundering and even something quite unusual, receiving inflated severance pay. The commission claims that instead of the 20 million naira he was entitled to, he allegedly received over 289 million naira at the end of his terms. But wait, there's even more to this story. Beyond the money matters, there is a separate case involving a very high-ranking official, the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu. There are whispers and legal filings about the alleged unlawful interception of communications. This has added a whole new level of spice to the situation because it moves the story from just money to national security and politics. It is truly a complex web that has kept Nigerians glued to their screens for weeks. As this drama continues to unfold, I want to remind you to like this video right now. If you are enjoying how we're breaking down this story, hitting that like button tells us to keep going. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Click that subscribe button and join the family so you are always the first to know when the gist drops. The public reaction has been split right down the middle. On one side, you have big names like Peter Obi and Kenneth Okonkwo, who have publicly spoken out calling the long detention illegal and political persecution. They argue that even if there are charges, the way the arrest was handled, moving him from the EFCC straight to the ICPC, wasn't quite right. On the other hand, many citizens feel that the anti-graft agencies must be allowed to do their work if we want to see real accountability in our country. It is also important to mention how the family is handling all this pressure. Bashir El-Rufai has been the most vocal, not just confirming the release, but also calling the ICPC a pathetic institution. That is a very strong word to use for a federal agency. It shows you the level of frustration the family has been feeling after his father spent over a month in custody. With the funeral rites for their grandmother happening today, the family is trying to find peace in the middle of a legal storm. Looking ahead to next Tuesday, March 31st, the atmosphere in Kaduna is expected to be very tense. That is the day the court will officially rule on the bail application. Will the judge consider the family's recent loss and grant him full bail, or will the weight of the 10-count charge keep him in the custody of the commission? The whole nation is waiting to see how the scales of justice will tilt. This story is a perfect example of how quickly things can change in Nigeria. From a jail cell to a funeral and back to a courtroom all in 1 week. It's a reminder that no matter how powerful someone is, they are still subject to the laws of the land and the trials of life. We will be right here to give you the blow-by-blow update as soon as that court ruling happens.
To wrap up this incredible story, let's look at the legal fireworks that are waiting just around the corner. While the former governor is home right now, his lawyers are working overtime because the charges against him are quite specific and serious. The ICPC is accusing him of things like conversion of public property and money laundering. In simple terms, they are looking at how money moved through his bank accounts and how certain payments were handled during his time in office. This is why his son, Bashir, was so passionate in his post, because for the family, this isn't just a legal case, it's a battle for their father's reputation and legacy. But here's where it gets even more interesting for those of us watching from home. This Tuesday, March 31st, isn't just any day in court. It is the day the judge will decide on the bail application. His legal team has actually raised some objections, even questioning if the current judge should be the one handling the case. This kind of legal back and forth is exactly why these stories stay at the top of the news. It shows that both sides, the government and the El-Rufai family, are prepared for a very long and intense fight. Before we get to the final part of this gist, please remember to like this video. If you found this breakdown helpful and easy to follow, hitting that like button really helps our channel grow so we can keep giving you the best updates. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so now. We're building a great community here and we don't want you to miss out on the next big update. The funeral for Hajiya Umma El-Rufai is expected to be a very solemn event, attended by many important people. Even though there's been a lot of political tension, seeing leaders from different sides coming together to offer condolences shows the strength of our traditions. It's a reminder that even in a fast-paced world of news and headlines, family always comes first. The former governor will likely spend these few days surrounded by his children and grandchildren, finding strength before he has to face the court again on Tuesday. This story really touches on everything: the loss of a loved one, the power of family, and the heavy hand of the law. It's a drama that is still very much in progress. Will the compassionate release lead to a more permanent bail, or will we see him return to custody after the final funeral prayers? Everyone is holding their breath to see what the next week brings for one of Nigeria's most talked about political figures. Thank you so much for watching and staying engaged with the gist. Your comments and views mean the world to us. Don't forget to share your thoughts below. We love reading what you have to say about these trending topics. Make sure you are subscribed so you get the alert the moment the court makes its final decision on Tuesday.